Alright, here we go. I'm doing something a little bit different here, guys. I'm going to hit pause right now just so I can move around. And I'm going to do some quick intros. We have the blue team in the upper left-hand corner. Talegetget, okay, in the standard saucer. Qazokm in the standard warthog. And ishchenTraum. Oh my god. ishchenTraum. Sure. In the standard Neo and their opponents, the carbon color team, the orange team in the bottom right hand corner, Rake 18 in the standard Osprey, Unbroken in the standard Saucer, and Bucisto, I think that's how you say it, Bucisto, in the Medic Osprey. And what I'm doing here, guys, is this is going to be a lesson-oriented video analyzing lower-level games, much more different than what you are probably used to seeing on my channel, which is a lot of either upper-tier, mid-level games, or high-level games, or even top-tier games. And it's what I'm going to do primarily right now. What I'm going to try to do is just follow mostly the carbon team right now, and I'm going to unpause it here, and point out either mistakes or correct decisions, and try to point out why. We do see moneymakers going down for both teams, so that is very good. You really do want to get a full socketed amount of moneymakers, especially on Sandrim. There's not too many sockets. You kind of want to go for mostly moneymakers, if not all moneymakers on this. Sometimes in larger maps like Chasm, or that have more sockets like Chasm or Nest Thorn, you try to put another one or two generators down. But on maps like Sandrim, it is a good idea to put mostly moneymakers down, and this is going to be directed at lower level players. So high level players, if you want to chime in with a little bit of information, we do see Rake going straight for the mid, which is still the meta, even though Sandrim has changed. We actually do see the blue team going for an early cheese here. They have two completely full cargoes of infantry, so they will be able to delight those bulbs that were already up for the orange team. And now with a full queue, like completely pre-game built queue of defenses, get to drop those defenses there, and that's pretty much exactly what you want to do, especially if you do a cheese. And that's grab the outpost and have a bunch of units in queue, so you can drop them all around the outpost for a solid defense. And that is pretty much exactly what the blue team has done here. They have a lot of T99s, mostly on this side. One down here, it probably will get killed by Unbroken. It is smoking black at this point, does get finished off, but the power in this map, even though that has been redone such that because the sockets have been taken out of this mid, all the power I still think is at that middle outpost, as long as you don't drastically overcommit your defenses there. It does obviously provide 20 power. With that power station provides plus 20 extra power generation, and a couple of harassing buckies going down here. I don't think that will be very effective. However, they were actually able to kill one of the moneymakers, so that actually was definitely worth it. I think the moneymakers weren't socketed though. Oh, and they do still have that pulsing appearance as if they are in the socket, but blue team has been able to actually completely grab this and is well defending it. Actually has infantry sitting in those bunkers, and what those infantry in the bunkers actually do is once a bulb gets knocked down, if a bulb should get knocked down on this outpost, that infantry will walk right in and relight the bulb that just got knocked down at a certain pace. If the bulbs get knocked down like at an insanely fast rate, the infantry will probably not be able to walk in at a fast enough rate. And we do see Talegetget going for these artillery here, getting shot by Bucisto. Okay, so that he did get away just in time using the death ray, pretty much exactly how you should. And actually focusing down this mech and not lifting up for that kill. If I were Talegetget or any of the blue team members, actually, you see a mech with that low amount of life, and when you see that, you really just go for that kill. Like right now, what's his name? Isham is going for, and did finish off Rake in the air before he got back to that fort. And so with this successful ninja, oh no, they actually have lost this outpost. And that is pretty much due to the artillery firing in, directly hitting the outpost, and the lack of defensive infantry produced and dropped by the blue team. And by defensive infantry, what I mean is, and that was just not good right there, but by defensive infantry, what I mean is, if you have your bulbs getting knocked down, you should really queue up infantry in your build queue, so you can drop them and relight the bulbs before they, before your outpost goes completely neutral. And as you can see, that orange team has been able to reclaim this outpost on the bottom, and probably should now bring this moneymaker over here to get it socketed in this, in these sockets. But right now we do see defenses going down. Bucky's in the bunkers. I would really highly recommend, instead of bunkering units which only block doors should the outpost become neutral, I would really highly recommend to put these units somewhere on the corners or something like that, because if they are on the corners, number one, they can shoot on the, on two sides of the outpost, as opposed to being in the bunkers. They are blocked by the outpost, and they can only defend against one side of the outpost, drops on one side of the outpost. And if they are not in the bunkers, you can bunker infantry, number two, and those bunkered infantry, like I mentioned earlier, walk into the outposts once bulbs get knocked down, and just it's a huge time, it gives you way more time to react should someone try to do a ninja. And we do see Rake going for the front door, and this Longhorn was successfully set to attack, hitting that Y button. If it was not, it probably would have prioritized attacking this T99, but got a couple of shots in. As you can see, the blue team's life has gone down just a little bit, and I actually put it on the front door, which if you have units hitting this front door area right here, not including these corners, but right here at this front door, you will see this front door flash red, and that does indicate that it is taking double damage. So if you have if you are doing a fort drop, number one, set your attacking units to Y, your dropped attacking units to Y, meaning attack. And number two, if the front door is open, attack the front door. Much more damage. You get double the amount of damage that you put on, and tailget does get away in time there. But we do see Longhorn, and this is a little interesting because they are pushing up on the further rocks. Typically on Sandrim, you want to push up on the closer rocks here. That way your units can be clumped up all over here. But now you're see right here, they're oh, okay, that's a couple deaths going down. But I'm not really actually calling action commentary right now. I'm just trying to point out, lesson purpose stuff. And what you see right now is these Longhorn have to shoot at these rocks over here. They are this far from the nearest outpost right here. So maintaining these units sitting over here, one did get killed, is going to be much harder. And tailget, actually, see, they are way further from their outpost than they could be if they were going for these rocks. If they just stationed a bunch of Longhorn right here at these rocks, their outpost is right there. So that it would be much easier to pick them up and heal, drop some more, heal up themselves. But right now, most of their units have actually been killed. So this is usually not the path that you'd want to take if you're the bottom team. You want to take the path that has the rocks closer to your outpost. And we do see Unbroken and Bucisto going for this bottom corner that does now have two sockets. And the reason you'd want to drop Longhorn down here for the attack is to kill this one Jackal and drop infantry in. That's pretty much the only reason you want to start on this side. But really, you want to clear the neutrals on your side of that contested outpost. Meaning, orange team really needs to go after these, and blue team already has been able to clear these. Tailget really effective with that death rate. And yes, definitely want to go for attacking your enemy units in the neutral areas over going straight for the neutral units, just because you want to put your attack on the enemy units, which will, if destroyed, that will actually completely cost them credits. If you're killing neutral units, that doesn't take any credits away from them. But if you kill their units, you're taking away credits they have actually spent on making those units. So it's really a battle of credits and of power here. Whoever has more units will obviously have the more dominant position. And orange team still pushing up on this. There is a little bit of anti here, but not enough really to thwart away the saucer. Really, and the saucer does successfully blink away. Wow, tailget with really slick moves there. And now Unbroken, doing quick scout, does see that he can probably go for a moneymaker, but oh no, not going for the moneymaker, going for the fort attack. I would, if I were him, go straight for the moneymaker. Really want to do that, either abducted or death ray to death. Death rate to death, that's funny. But Unbroken does get killed by those T99s here. Really should have just blinked the hell away once he realized that he probably wouldn't have been able to be successful with that attack. And now, once again, going for the fort attack instead of the moneymaker kills. At this level of play, you really probably want to go for the socket unit kills over the fort attack, especially this early in the game, not close to overtime too, just because those socket kills, number one, get you an insane amount of experience. Number two, they do go down fairly fast. And number three, taking away their economy, especially moneymakers, is extremely detrimental to the opposing team. And now we do see a lag complaint here. But once again, we do see this not socketed with a moneymaker, this socket not socketed with a moneymaker. These are full, but you really want every single socket on your controlled outposts to have a socket-powered unit. Now they have actually been able to kill this, this line of this cluster of rocks here, the destructible rocks, but Rake's trying to maintain this by himself, healing stuff up. Okay, now Bucisto is here, but they are both in Ospreys. And an orange tank does go down. Now these stray Longhorn are set on attack, so they will go for the fort. They will not go for the, this close outpost. This close outpost here, they probably would have gone for them if they were set on T capture. And now blue team actually was able to completely clear the units here, and now really needs to get us around qazokm. I don't know how to say that. Qazokm. I'm gonna say quaz, like there was an actual U after that Q. Come on, guy. Spelling. But yeah, Quaz, damn it. Quaz really needs to stay in this area, defend this before Orange Team gets wind of, of that outpost actually being captured and controlled by Blue Team. Right now, I am focusing on the Orange Team right now, and you do see that they do not have any map, awareness of that blue outpost, although they can see that it is blue. That is one attribute of the mini-map. You can see every single outpost. Oh, and qazokm getting Rake in the air there. That super high DPS of that Warthog was able to actually kill him first. Even though they were both extremely low on life, the Osprey obviously did not out DPS the Warthog in the air, and the Warthog with much more HP. And we do have, let's see what blue team is doing. They already have a completely open lane down here, and a lot of these units can be quickly killed. Like this death ray is just being extremely effective, and qazokm doing air to ground. At this point, the Seekers are hitting you anyway, so you might as well land, get that ground attack, because the ground attack is much stronger than using air to ground. If you are a Warthog player, use ground attack as much as you possibly can. And like I said, he really needed to put actual defenses down here. He only had Seekers, which only defends against mechs. So it only attacks mechs. Seekers are anti-air, but has been able to get this neutralized. And this one T99 will go down. If you're going to attack with a T99, especially for neutralizations, you might as well put it right up against the outpost, so it prioritizes it for sure. Bucisto barely getting away before he gets killed there. And right now, okay, these rocks have also been killed by these Longhorns, so that's very interesting. Both teams went for the rocks that I would recommend against going if you're on those respective sides. But now this Longhorn push will come in, but not supported with any anti-air. Look at how much these mechs are actually destroying these tanks. Free to attack them because they aren't really getting contested too much, except for that ground fire from those Longhorn. But if you are pushing like this with Longhorn or with any tank class unit, you really want to push with Seekers or Flackers so you can contest any enemy mechs that are going to destroy your units on the march to whatever you're trying to attack, whether it be a fort or an outpost. You really want to send Seekers or Flackers, mobile anti-air units, not hats, Seekers or Flackers with your push, so you can force mechs to have a limited to no amount of time attacking those units that you just sent. And now Unbroken going with 3 points into Death Ray and 2 points into Abduct. I really highly encourage any Saucer player to go with Blink. Like, I know a lot of people have been going death ray, like 2 or 3 points straight into death ray without anything else. But I am a firm believer right now. You can ask any other high level players, and you guys, any other AirMech veterans can weigh in as well. This death ray ability is very, very new, so the quote unquote meta has not really been 100% defined quite yet. But I am still a firm believer that Saucer should be 1-1-1, 1 point into Death Ray, 1 point into Blink, 1 point into Abduct right away. You know, the Abduct or the... I mean, depending on the map, the Abduct might not be that useful. But, you know, you really, really got to assess the situation, figure out what order you want to go first Death Ray, first Blink, or first Abduct. Look at what map you're on. Look at how the enemy is playing. Are there any stray units everywhere? Do you want to capture them or do you want to kill them? Will you be able to get a lot of mech kills using that death ray? Will you really be able to micro extremely well using a blink? What's more important? You really need to assess the situation. You know, decide which abilities you want to go first with. You know, depending on the map, the format, whether it's 2v2, 3v3, or 1v1. And the current situation of the units on the field. And now we do have a push coming up by Orange Team, and once again, no anti-air, no seekers. So there, I mean, especially with a Warthog and a Saucer on the opposing team, you really, really, really want to push with anti-air. Whether or not this specific push will be greatly affected by the lack of anti-air, I'm not sure. It looks like they are making a very, you know, easy, uncontested march toward that enemy fort. Okay, now a couple of Seekers do go down, thank God, by Rake. Rake does bring those Seekers down, and so that will force the enemy mechs trying to contest these Longhorn approaching. It will force them to stay away to a degree. There are only 2 Seekers. I would like to see something like a 2 to 4, like a 2 to 4, 1 to 2 ratio, give or take, or 1 to 3 of Seekers and Longhorn. You know, obviously depending on the mechs that you're contesting, but right now in this situation with a Warthog and a Saucer, you know, on the opposing team, they are very, very strong. They can both kill these mechs these units very, very fast. And as you see, a lot of the defense has gone down already, and talegetget and Quaz I've been able to finish off that entire push, so that was also a completely wasted push. And now we do have an insanely large Dillo push. Dillos go down to bombs extremely fast. However, I don't see any bombs on the orange team at all in any of their loadouts, so that's the thing. but this Death Ray will actually be able to kill these Dillos very quickly as well. Unbroken getting hit by Death Ray, and it forced to heal away. And Unbroken still not putting any points into Blink. Blink is really, really useful, guys. Do not underestimate the power of that speed burst that you get from using Blink. But now a lot of Dillos go over here at the fort. Not too much defense quite yet. There are 4 Goliaths, and at this point, blue team really needs to be here, picking up these Dillos, microing them, and dropping them around this fort, because these Goliaths are blocking their fire. They are not allowing them to actually, hit that fort. And these Dillos are just going to be killed. If the blue team was here to move the Dillos around, keep them and position them around this outpost, then they would have gotten a humongous amount of damage. You see it in high-level and mid-level games all the time. If you go with a fort push or if a fort drop, you drop something once the opponent blocks the unit, then you move it out of the way, and you put it in an open spot in front of the fort so it can directly hit the fort. That's the idea. Prevent your opponent from blocking their own fort. And right now we do see Bucisto not attacking. What is he doing? You really need to be moving all the time. He allowed those level 4 creeps to neutralize this outpost. Really, really needed to just drop and shoot, or at least body block for that outpost, so he could actually keep it. And now forced to bring level 4 creeps back himself, only with 2. You really, really want to get just 4 in one trip. 4 in one trip is OP, guys. You got to just do it. 4 in one trip. But we do see a counter push going by this orange team. It's one of the more, the more commonly used tactics. If your opponent pushes and fails, do a counter push. Push with those defending units that you just defended with. And now these Goliaths are actually being sent on attack. I think they are going up this diagonal path And Unbroken almost able to take out Quaz, but not able to actually finish him off. And now Rake doing exactly what it needs to do as the Osprey, healing that front leading Goliath. That is actually a really effective tactic, because the front leading unit is the one that takes the brunt of the damage. You know, right when it hits the enemy mechs or the enemy unit's defensive line, it's gonna be the first one to take all the damage. And right now we do see Bucisto and Rake both healing up all the Goliaths that they possibly can, and these Goliaths are gonna just head to this fort. But look at this massive defense by this blue team. And once again, once this push hits this fort, once they hit around here, they're gonna want to start to, you know, move the Goliaths around, put them in the holes not blocked by the enemy units. And you know what? They've reprioritized, and they're going for this outpost instead, which is okay. But look at all the Goliaths they are sending to their doom. Oh, we did see Rake reposition one of the Goliaths here to the corner. And that was a move that really I was hoping to see, and that did happen. Now Orange team not with enough infantry. They really need to come back. Unbroken bringing a single level 4 creep. Even though there were 3 bulbs up, and yes, they only needed 1 bulb, right? You want to bring as many infantry as you can possibly get your hands on. And now talegetget attacking this orange fort uncontested. Just that Seeker. Rake is finally respawning, so he will be able to thwart him away here. But you really need to keep an eye on your mini-map. And and anything, especially if you hear that my fort is getting attack buzzer sound, you really want to respond back to your fort. Check, take a look at your minimap, look how many units are there, and respond as quick as you possibly can, or hope that one of your teammates is responding for you so you can continue the fight on the front line. And now talegetget again with that attack, with that death ray, he's landing on the side. Really should just go for the front door right here so he can get that double damage on. He was pretty much going to die anyway, so if he landed right here, even though the Dillo was firing at him, if he could have gotten a lot of front door attack, his efforts would have been doubled. It would have been like 2 saucers attacking the side door. And that's pretty much what you want to do. Now Orange team grabbing the majority of the map control here, getting this corner. They already have control of the other corner and do have the C99 here stationed so they can defend against those level 4 creeps that might leak in. And a couple of Goliath push. Oh, well, actually a lot of Goliaths being pushed right now. That Saucer Unbroken really needs to start abducting. Yes, thank you, God. Unbroken does start abducting, and now just really needs to just abduct as fast as he possibly can. 3 points in the abduct have paid off for him. 2 Goliaths have been stolen. Another one will probably get finished. Oh no, Bucisto, do not attack the Goliath that is being abducted. Do not kill the units that the Saucer on your team is in the middle of abducting. Bucisto can see that orange looking thing, that animation that gets put down once that Goliath is starting to be abducted, and he can see that red ring. So if your Saucer teammate is abducting any units at all, do not attack them. Do not attack them unless they are more of a... You know what? At this level, if anyone's actually seriously watching this for lesson purposes, do not abduct them, period. In no case at this level should you ever attack a unit that a Saucer teammate is abducting. And Bucisto actually able to finish off that Goliath right there. Now all those Goliath that have been sent over by blue team are thrown right back in their face. But there are a lot of T99s over here. That's a lot of freaking T99s, man. And actually have been able to finish off a lot of the Goliaths that have been resent over in this area. Unbroken just firing into this, just firing with a death ray. But once again, I really can't overemphasize the need to reposition the units that you send over to the fort. These Goliaths could have been brought over here, over here, over here, over here. There are so many holes in this fort. Look at how many holes there are in this fort that the Goliaths could have been dropped on, and extra damage. A lot of extra damage, even killing blow level quality damage could have been put in, and now Unbroken going with that. I'm not really agreeing with that. Quaz actually dancing really well up and down. Oh, and Unbroken decides not to continually chase the Warthog. Oh my God, the Warthog was so far away from any friendly outpost or fort, which actually is only the fort at this point because Orange Team has been able to grab that entire map. Okay, the Warthog was here. The Saucer was here. The Warthog had to go all the way back to his fort, that entire map length, the saucer would have easily been able to finish him off. If you can get that mech kill, especially in that case, get it. Get those mech kills. Mech kills are extremely devastating. Mech absence from the field is insanely, like, you can take advantage of that extremely well, and even if they do spam that respawn button to shorten their respawn time, it'll cost them a lot of credits. And right now, Orange Team is in the dominating stage. I'm pretty sure they have every single outpost on the map except for this one. Has been neutralized by Quaz. No infantry going down yet. No defense, and once again, no map awareness. You really just got to keep an eye on your map and see if there are any mechs in your areas at all. At this stage of the game, any blue dots on the map that aren't over here next to the blue fort, just like this one over here, with talegetget still firing at the back instead of the front door. But any blue dots for Carbon Team really needs to be responded to extremely quickly, and Unbroken with an Archie for some reason really just needs to sell that off or put that on the front line, attacking the... Where is he going? That's very weird. But right now, there is a huge turtle here for Blue Team. Look at all those units. What you want to do is either set artillery over here to fire down over here or completely bomb in. There are no bombs on the Orange Team once again, so they need to just produce Berthas. Berthas all day. That will do the job. Set them right about here. They will be able to reach these units over here. I'm pretty sure. I know the range has been nerfed recently, but... And now Quaz, look at this. Look at your mini-map, guys. Quaz was freely, able to just neutralize this outpost with defending units right next to these outposts. And if you just come and respond, you really need to keep an eye on your mini-map. Come and respond, drop some Seekers, reposition some Goliaths, drop some defensive infantry so you can keep that outpost under your control. That's super important. I mean, it's not humongously devastating right now, obviously, because Orange Team is in such a good position, but it realistically, in a more even match, in a more, situationally even match, you really need to keep an eye on the minimap, prevent your enemy from ninjing any outposts, like neutralizations as well. And at this point, we are already in overtime 2, and what happens when we hit overtime 2, 25 minutes into the game, is from this point on, each enemy fort will, each side's fort will take damage according to how much map control you do not have. So Blue Team at this point doesn't have any outposts under their control. Absolutely none. There are no outposts that they actually control right now. So they are taking a lot of damage. Orange Team just doesn't have this one in their control. And and once again, I have worded that very carefully. It's not how many outposts you have in your control. Or not necessarily, it's not how much map control you have, it's how much map control you do not have, is how much damage that you take from your fort. For example, if Orange Team is actually able to grab this outpost, put 3 more infantry in there, and light those bulbs, grab that last outpost, they will be taking 0 damage from this overtime bleed out. But because they have 1 outpost not under their control, they're taking very little damage, per second. And now Quazum, almost able to actually neutralize this, will be able to get it neutralized before getting killed by Unbroken. Well, okay. Oh, okay. Thank God, able to actually finish him off there. But this bleed out will probably eventually kill the Blue Team, just because they are significantly behind in map control, in outpost control. A random jackal going down. That doesn't actually do anything right now. You really need to put infantry down so it can actually grab that outpost. Those jackals are doing nothing, but we do see a Goliath procession. But once again, this Goliath procession is not going to be able to break this defense. There is too many defending units over here. This game has a distinct defender's advantage. Actually, like kind of a huge defender's advantage, because an outpost or a fort are just so much power in your hands. And right now we do see another attack. Okay, now Quazum is getting smashed by all those missiles right there. But these Goliaths are not getting repositioned, and they are mostly going to get killed on the way in by all these defending units, especially with talegetget's saucer ground, death ray. And right now, almost getting finished off, but really needs to lift off, because Unbroken, just with a small touch, will be able to actually finish him off. Okay. Oh, with that extra bleed out and Unbroken firing in, Orange Team has been able to get this victory. If you guys want to see more of this series, let me know. I am going to accept as many low-level game replays as possible. So, hey guys, if you watch my channel and you are not, if you're not Stardog, and if you're not Valinor and Boomhauer, if you're not Tangibility, or guys who play with them on even ground, and have been wanting to be featured on my channel, please send me any lower level replays you guys have, and I will do my best to try to do instructional videos, and, low level game analysis, so more new players can learn the aspects of AirMech from more experienced players' perspectives, and I will specifically ask for you vets that always watch my channel to leave comments, leave timestamps. If you can, please give as much advice as possible, just so these newer players can get a better hold on this game, and we can get this game more out there. So once again, this is RUI, guys, and that is game. See you next time.